They were in the playoffs last year, but now he took them over the hump.
Okay. So that's all I'm saying. If he taking them over the hump, they didn't even want to take them over the hump.
Would you rather spend October through, I would say, March in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or in Miami, Florida? Be honest.
Or the ball's like in Milwaukee.
I got shooters in the cut like I'm Golden State. Buy my girl Audemars, that is no debate. You say you got all this work, well that's for me to say. R.I.P. Triple X, and that's no debate. I feel like Juggernaut, there's no stopping me.
Hey man, what it is, man? It's the first episode, complete episode that we supposed to be airing of No Debate. It's your host.
It's your boy Coach Zay.
And your boy Theory Ali, Super Saiyan Juvie, aka Google Me.
All right, first show, No Debate podcast. Let's get into it. We're not gonna waste no time. But I would like to say first, it's a blessing to be here, and it's a blessing for all y'all to be watching us. So let's get into it.
Straight up, straight like that.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is something that I kind of felt indifferent about. For one, because it's a great opportunity for, I know, a guy he's a very stand-up guy, but at the same time, the opportunity that presented itself, I just feel like it could have went a little bit differently, and that's the hiring of Steve Nash.
Who that? Steve Nash?
By the Brooklyn Nets. So they agreed to a 4-year deal, and I do love Steve Nash. Like, I understand
4-year
he
deal.
was a great player. To be honest, a great basketball mind, a very high basketball IQ. Now, with that being said, he has not had a significant coaching position until now.
They gave this man a 4-year deal. This man ain't even been an assistant coach. He get a 4-year deal. He was assistant coach?
I think he was like an advisor or something for the Warriors, but I don't think they officially labeled him.
So they think Steve Nash shouldn't be the next Steve Kerr.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
So Steve Nash finna come control Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, because he did coach KD though.
He did.
I mean, like, not coach him, but I mean, they train. You train up KD all the time. I'm pretty sure Kyrie they close friends. I'm pretty sure he probably train both of them. Yeah. They probably got him in the door, to be real with you. They getting their guys.
Yeah, with a team like that with two superstars, they're not just going to go hire any coach without running it by those two star players first. So I'm pretty sure Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both signed on.
You got to have somebody that control them egos. Them two big egos right there. I mean, KD don't act like it, but KD want to, KD is snake, low-key. I like KD. KD is snake.
KD, I feel like is the most sensitive superstar.
KD's so sensitive. KD probably might even see this podcast. I might get a shout out. We might get a shout out. Just from me saying KD kind of stuff, I might really get a shout out because I'm calling KD a snake.
Hey, man.
He might go drop 50. He might go drop 50 because I called him a snake.
Hey, KD, we love your game. Some of the things that you did were quite questionable, though. I'm not even going to play with it, but yeah, like we were saying, though, I'm pretty sure that Kyrie Irving and KD both signed off on this, and I don't think it's a problem with it because, maybe he could come in and transform them into a legit championship contender. I mean, they have contending pieces right now because of who they have on their roster, but, it takes a great coach to push that team over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael Jordan was a great player, but until he got Phil Jackson.
Look, since we talking about Michael Jordan, I know Michael Jordan won 6 championships. How many years he played in the NBA? Like, didn't he play for like 14? No, it's like 15 years. It's like 15 years, man. We'll go check that out, man. It's like 15 years, man. But I don't know. He got 6 championships. Something was happening before he won championships. So he wasn't going to 8 straight. So that's all I'm trying to say. So what you were saying about winning the coach? Because you showed him the great coach to win. Because I mean, Michael Jordan needed a few great pieces to win. Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and your boy Steve Kerr and the gang. So there ain't nothing wrong with it.
That is true.
Now, pretty much not about a fucking super team. That's all. Nothing about a super team. That's all. That's it. But it's okay.
And now the problem that I had though with this Steve Nash hiring is you have Tyronn Lue, who won a championship as a head coach. You have Mark Jackson, responsible for turning the tides.
Why does Mark Jackson not have a job in the
Golden
NBA?
State.
Like, why does Mark Jackson not have a job in the NBA?
Now listen, you also have Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell has been an assistant to Doc Rivers, I believe going 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. So why aren't these people offered any jobs? And I'm not just talking about the Nets job.
About the Nets job. This is a new Nets job at this point in time.
This is about head coaching in general in the NBA. Why do you have these brothers who are not getting any type of
play? You gonna get Steve Nash? That's getting Donald Trump. You ain't hired nobody. This man ain't never done nothing political. This man ain't never done nothing in the coaching situation, and now he the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, look, but to all means, I hope Steve Nash can do it. They got a good team. That team has been coached pretty well. What was the coach name? Atkins before Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah,
Atkinson or something like that.
Atkinson.
Yeah, he put a pretty good coach on that team and defense, winning. They got great pieces. So I mean, if Steve Nash can come in, but it's not as easy as it seems. Hopefully, he did some little league coaching because some AAU or something.
Yeah, he probably coached his nephew or something, you know.
I also, but having Kyrie Irving is almost like coaching an AAU team. You can go out there and shoot by 27 times.
Yeah. See, and I think though the really good thing about Steve Nash is that because Steve Nash was known as a playmaker throughout his whole career, I think he'll add that element to Kyrie's game. And I'm not saying just so much of being just a playmaker, but better game management because, there's sometimes that Kyrie will shoot you out of a game.
He will shoot you out of a game. Literally, he'll shoot you right at the bucket. Shoot you right out your lead. Kyrie Irving has done it.
Yeah.
I've seen him out dribble. I've seen him over dribble teammates, open teammates so many times till it literally disrupts the offense. That's why Boston had to get rid of him. With Kemba Walker, it was a completely different thing. So,
see, and Kemba understands the flow of the game. Sometimes it may not be your chance to take all the shots. Say, for instance, if me and you playing, and I know you just made 4 buckets in a row, why would I stop going to you? Because I want to score the ball now? Like,
give it to the hot hand.
Give it to the hot hand. Feed the hot hand consistently until that flame goes out.
And yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Speaking of, let's go to that topic of the Miami Heat. So, the Miami Heat catching flames, say going to the hot hand. Because speaking of hot hands, that boy Duncan Robinson's going crazy. And in fact, everybody on their team's going crazy.
Everybody on their team is playing.
It's a walking bucket.
Great chemistry first and foremost.
Walking bucket.
I just believe that they believe in each other defensively as the way they've been playing.
Well, let me ask you this. Who you got in the series?
Oh, I got Miami in 6.
You got Miami in 6?
Yeah, I got Miami in 6.
I got Miami in sweep.
Oh, man. You got Miami
I got Miami in a sweep.
Everybody get the brooms out.
Get the brooms out. Because let me tell you this. I've been trying to tell everybody this. Oh, Giannis for MVP. Giannis better than LeBron. What Giannis was doing? I don't even know what Giannis' numbers look like. I'm going to tell you this.
Look, Giannis was averaging like 33 and 15 throughout the season.
Throughout the season, right?
See, but that's like...
They showed the blueprint. The blueprint was exposed on this guy. The blueprint has been exposed. And when it comes down to it, you have to be able to get better than last season. Their offense has not gotten better, and that's responsible for their number one player. If you cannot affect the game in certain ways, you got to be able to step your game up to a certain level. They make that wall, and they're null and void.
That's true.
But with that being said, the whole thing is like, you got to get to that point to where you got to create some form of offense outside of Giannis. The Bucks and they self.
And this is what I've made a determination as. Miami has the key to containing Giannis. And
they do. They really do.
Like is not really with I mean, a lot of people say that, you know, the wall, like, make a wall so he won't get in the paint. I believe what it is kind of bigger than that, but it's something so small. And that is getting him in foul trouble early by taking charges.
Because he's so aggressive to that basket.
Exactly. He's so aggressive to the basket that it comes to a point where you can just step in front of him and go ahead and take that charge. And next thing you know, he's looking up. He has 3 fouls, and it's the second quarter.
3 fouls, second quarter, you got to sit him down.
Early second quarter, too. So, as a coach, you like, I can't have my best player having 4 fouls by halftime. So, what do? They sit him down. Miami goes on a run. And from then, it's just like the Bucks are usually playing from behind. Now, I will say this season, or especially in this playoffs, Chris Middleton has stepped up.
He has stepped up.
That's one person who they've been talking about.
And look, and let me tell look.
Too.
I'm gonna say this right now while we're on the air. I'm saying this on record. Like Chris Middleton, how many All-Star games has he been to?
I believe
2 this year now. This is his second game. Chris Middleton, I'm sorry to tell you, he's a star. Giannis has help. Stop. He has help. Chris Middleton's job is to do what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to average 23, 24. That's his job. Stop. We got to stop with this madness. Giannis got help. He's not by himself. This MVP caliber plan that we're talking about, he's getting stopped. He's getting shut down. The blueprint was showed. They can't stop him. Now, LeBron go out there, and it's a whole other story.
Oh, Goat James.
LeBron go out there, it's a whole other story. So all I'm trying to say is when y'all give up the MVP, your MVP going to be watching the playoffs from home. That's all I'm saying. And the defensive player. So AD, the real defensive player of the year, and LeBron, the real MVP, gonna be in the playoffs winning. So he can take home the little hardware, but they finna get the real deal jewelry. So that's all I gotta say.
Now, and I will go on record saying this: if the Bucks really do end up losing this series, they're going to fire their head coach.
Oh yeah, that's. But
because listen, I'm not a head coach.
Who knows it?
The only thing they have to do in order to get Giannis in the paint like they want is have him play in pick and roll situations and have him roll to the basket. He doesn't have to be the primary ball handler in order for him to get to the basket.
He really don't.
They have to put him in situations where it's easy for him to catch the ball already in the paint.
But let me tell y'all this, though. This is why I say I'm going to go on record and say this. Giannis is a 4. I'm sorry to tell everybody, but he is a 4 who can handle the ball. I'm sorry to tell everybody this. Who was he guarding? Check me out. Who was he guarding another night? Was he guarding Jimmy Butler?
I believe he was guarding Bam.
Oh, Bam plays center. Okay, so that's all I'm trying to say. So when it comes down to it, when he coming down the court and handling his business, I'm sorry to tell everybody, he's a glorified 4. If he cannot play bully ball, it's how he gets his points. How he get his 16, his 14.
I really do want to say this. Bam, you are special.
Bam cooking.
You are special, bro.
We hit the same shot. The put the nail in the coffin. He hit the same shot in 2 different games. That mid-range shot.
Mid-range game. And not only that, but defensively, he can guard your point guard.
Okay.
He can guard your center.
Okay.
And everybody in between them.
Okay.
So, Bam, yeah, bro. You definitely got it. And, yeah, I just want to say.
But look, let me tell you this, though. What do they have to do to win? The Bucks.
Like I said, they just have to allow Giannis to touch the paint in different ways rather than driving the ball to the paint. Because if you really look at their games, everybody else is pretty much doing their job. The only thing is, because Giannis is the ball handler and he wants to go to the basket, they're stepping in front of him and taking charges.
They're just making a wall. That's it. Just that simple.
And once you look up and you got 3 fouls in early second quarter, it's hard for you to do anything because that's your best player.
Because they're going to give him that 3. He's not going to take 6 threes in the game, 7 threes in the game and hit for 52%.
Exactly.
So, okay.
And leading on to that second game of that night, the Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder. I honestly can say that was probably the one of the best games I've seen in a minute.
Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Chris Paul, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Paul.
Shout out to Chris.
Nobody really thought that he could do it.
Chris Paul.
They literally tried to send him out to nowhere. That's like one of us getting sent out to Sweden or something like Nova Scotia.
They sent that man to Poland. Sit that man out there butt naked with no jacket, man. And Poland sent that man out there freezing cold, got his hair cut, shaved, bald. That man came out with a chinchilla jacket, polar bear draws.
Come on.
And almost really in all glory, they should have won that game. In all glory, Chris Paul had the opportunity to win that game, and it was close. That's why he felt so emotional after the game.
I kind of questioned the
decision making of that last.
I really thought he was going to dribble the ball down
and go down and get to the basket. Yeah. He lapsed on us. Yeah. And that was my thing. I'm like, in the fourth quarter, I really took heat of, would I rather have James Harden or would I rather have Chris Paul? And that was a big thing because Chris Paul would have got them over the hump in the fourth quarter. But still, come crunch time, the last 10 seconds, he not only did he give up the ball, which could have been a good basketball play, but it really wasn't setting up a play, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know. It just like was a late decision made. He didn't really know what he wanted to do at that time, even though he was dribbling down. He gave it up. Who was the guy coming from the right?
I think he gave it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna let you know that boy SGA. You can put the ball in his hand. You can trust it. Yeah, you can trust it. You can trust it.
As a matter of fact, that's the first time I've ever seen a 3-point guard system, man, and it worked.
Oh yeah, that three-headed monster is legit.
Once Chris Paul, Schroeder, and SGA get on the court together, them boys are effective. They
I don't want to go as far as the first one time we've ever seen that. Now we got to go back and review some stuff.
3-point guards.
You right though. We got to go back. We got to go over and check stuff.
Even with Dame and CJ, people were like, both of them point guards. How they gonna do it?
Yeah, that's true.
So, but 3 of them, and for all of them to coexist.
Yeah, that's a 3-headed monster with them guards, though. That's what made them so difficult to deal with. SGA really did his thing, though. He stepped up this year. He showed that he's a stud in this league. He can play. He's gonna be a problem. With him and Chris Paul, they actually have a nucleus. And again, then the shooter. I've been saying for a long time. Then the shooter's a starter in this league.
Yeah,
and he is.
He should go. He can go to any. I would say lottery team, with the exception of the Warriors.
Well, again, the only reason he's not starting now is because Chris Paul came. He was just starting last year. But I mean, it's just sacrifice of minutes and whatnot. But when really they need that, because when Chris Paul gets off the floor, you need a legitimate starter. That's why they're so tough to deal with. Yeah,
that's true. Sure. Oh, and I also want to say about this topic with the game. Harden just, to me, in my opinion, he just solidified that he's a superstar. I mean, and I know I may get a lot of flack from that. People saying he already been a superstar because of the scoring. But what I want everybody to understand is basketball is not football. Mm-mm. You don't have your position that you go out and you play offense. You have to get your ass back on defense. So for him to step up, and because he was especially shooting bad, he had a terrible shooting game.
Terrible shooting night. What was the stats on that night?
He had 4 for 15 field goals and 1 for 9 3-pointers. He made 8 out of 9 free throws, but
hold on.
1 for 9.
Hold on. Say again. He did shot what? 1 for what? 1 for 9?
1 for 9 3-pointers.
Look, I ain't say I can go out there and shoot 1 for 9. But what did he put them clamps on him at the end of the game, though? Did he not?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what it's all about.
He also had 2 steals and 3 blocks.
Ooh, 3 blocks. Damn, we had 3-2-1 up there. Looks something like that.
Yeah, man. So,
countdown kid out there.
I just feel like Harden solidified his superstar status because he could easily have a typical throwback Harden game where he started turning the ball over and then he didn't play defense and then they get blown out.
Mind you, he could have had a typical Harden lapse in defense too, because if you ever catch James Harden last year, you can literally catch James Harden standing and watching the ball as motions happen. I've actually said earlier this year to a buddy of mine, my brother, shouts out to my dog Real. I told him a long time ago, James Harden defense is stepping up. Like he's sneaky good defensively. Yeah, he's been leading the league in steals for like the past couple years.
And I just feel like by him stepping up defensively, it shows one how bad he really wanted to win.
He ready to win.
And for 2, his mental state. Because, basketball is a game of runs, and sometimes when you get in that slump and you don't see the ball go in, it's going to feel like you never going to hit.
Especially if you're a scorer, it can just take you completely out your element. And that's what it would do to him before. That's your game.
Yeah, man. So, shout out to James Harden, man. And actually, in my opinion, he saved Russell Westbrook's legacy.
In my opinion, he like whoa, because Russell Westbrook that really could have went bad. For Russell, if they would have lost to OKC, no.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't have been it.
And from
no, it wouldn't have been
like
it.
just say from the perspective of you're Russell Westbrook.
That's what I'm saying. It's a former team.
You're getting to the conference finals or the finals. I would say pretty much almost every year since you've been with KD. To be honest.
Yeah.
And KD leaves, and it's three straight.
Triple double, no playoffs.
First round exit.
Oh well, you know what?
They would have lost in the first round.
But you know what though?
Night,
now let me get. But to his avail. Chris Paul just got put out in the first round. Right.
How many conference semifinals and conference finals have Chris Paul went to?
This is true, but he still hasn't won the big game.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think Chris Paul's ever been to a conference final.
See, so no, you're right. No, because they were Golden State. He has.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
And he got hurt. They got hurt in that game six.
They was actually supposed to.
They were supposed to spank that ass. Hey, they got lucky. They were supposed to spank him in CP. They got lucky.
Crazy?
They got lucky. And he was at the worst shooting out of all time.
The Warriors play in the playoffs. Their point guard got hurt.
Yeah, everybody, man, the Warriors, I ain't gonna say they really lucked out, but they had a nice little easy road to be such a good team.
Y'all got going on.
I don't know what type of voodoo y'all got going on, boy. I don't know what Vegas. I don't know what y'all got going on, boy. Something in the water, something.
Hey, something.
So you know what? I'm gonna watch. Anytime I go to LA, I'm gonna make sure I will, cause I can't. If I get in a celebrity all-star game and I don't want to get hurt, cause. That LA, something going on. It's spooky. When I get to that Golden State, that Bay Area they talk about, I can't do it, man. I'm trying to tell you. What we got next for them boys at the house, man? Because I do know one thing I'm thinking about, though, again, it's just that Boston and Toronto series. I'm not going to lie to you. I honestly can't even believe that it's a 2-0 lead right now. No, didn't they just win it? They won in that game. They back up. Okay, it's 2-1. We here. They here.
Yeah, Boston is up 2-1 in that series.
But who do you know? Just be honest though. Like no talent. Like let's not talk about the rosters. Let's talk about who's a better team. Like who do you think is legitimately the better team? The number 1 seed or they 2 or 3? The number 2 or the number 3 seed? Because if seeding doesn't always explain it. Who's really the better team?
Because injuries happen throughout the season.
And listen to me though. I'm not even talking about just star power, like chemistry wise, scheme wise. Like who's the better team?
I'm gonna have to go with Toronto.
Yeah.
Boston does have youth on their side and they do have talent, but I just think overall the experience.
So look, so let me do you like this. Let me do you like this. Coaching, who got the upper hand coaching? Who you feeling?
Ooh,
You got the boy. You got that's tough. That's I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the reason why I love this series. And that's to be honest with you. I believe this series is gonna go to 7 because you got Nick Nurse.
It's two good coaches trying to outsmart each other.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I can't answer that question to be honest.
And you got and the boy genius. What's my man's name? What's his name again? Boston coach. Damn. We got it. Don't worry. We got the handy dandy iPads. Hey man, if she come here to what we got? Broadcaster. You know what I'm saying? Gorilla broadcaster. Handy dandy iPads. You heard him talking about? So. Oh yeah, broadcasting. Oh yeah, Revolutionary Broadcasting Group.
Broadcasting Group.
You feel me? Oh, Brad Stevens. Hey, shouts out to old broadcaster Tyrell back there, man. Tyrell Denson. Shouts out to Sleepy Headphones. He's gonna be on the broadcast here soon, guys. Don't you dare worry. We're gonna get call-ins and everything. We might get a prelude. We might get a section in this sucker, man. We're gonna see how it goes. When it comes down to it though, Brad Stevens versus Nick Nurse, who you get an upper hand? For real though. Cause see, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like them studs give Brad Stevens some love. That's not true because he do good. He do better with less. But Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and
I don't know. I think Nick Nurse,
Kemba Walker, like come on, dude.
For them not to miss a beat after losing a top.
Yeah. No, you're right. Nick Nurse. That's Nick Nurse, hands down. That's Nick Nurse. And then you see the higher than them on top of that. That's Nick Nurse. That's Nick Nurse. That's Nick Nurse off the check. So we're gonna check out Nick Nurse for the coaching. Now again, players. Talent. Cause before we jump the gun though.
Listen, I was just gonna say this.
Okay, before we jump the gun.
I feel like even though Boston has better stars as a team, the roster top down, they're top heavy.
See,
so after Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Kemba,
and then Gordon Hayward, who's injured, he's down. But who do you have? And that's what I was thinking about the weight of their team is the depth of the Toronto Raptors. They still got Marc Gasol.
They have Marc Gasol.
They still got Serge Ibaka. They still got Kyle Lowry. Then they still got Pascal Siakam. So when it comes down to it, it's like they got their guys. And then they got Van Fleet. And Van Fleet is honestly a bona fide stud. Like he's honestly practically becoming a star in his own right.
Yeah, he definitely is.
If he takes over these games in the playoffs, like this is his time to really step up and show who he really is and really get some stuff going. Really show what's up.
I'm just gonna check out some stats from that game. The game that they had earlier today.
See, and that's the thing too. That game just literally fresh off ESPN, probably about an hour ago now. So it should be something up about that game. And the thing is, like, I'm glad they emerged out that game because, hell, it's just good for basketball for them to keep the series to not be a sweep one.
Yeah.
But for both of the number one seeds, so my thing is I'm trying to figure out if Milwaukee gonna do the same thing because they have the seeds to have those lower rated seeds to come put them down 2-0. It kind of to me exposes what the East really was because that's what at my estimation, the East is everybody's good in the East, right? Mm-hmm. But it's still like everybody's good, and that's the reason why it looks the way it looks. But who's really great in the East? You get my drift? Who's really great? Who can really separate themselves in the East?
And I think the biggest separation between the East and the West is that with the West, you kind of sort of know who's the top dog and,
in the West,
line. But with the East,
it's up in the air right now.
It's all because of different matchups, too. Like, many people don't know this, but the Miami Heat was the only team to beat the Bucks twice in the regular season. So they have their number as far as how to beat that team.
Yeah, they do. They do have the number how to beat that team.
And not only that, but
so at this point in time, they got 4 wins against that team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
excuse us. Princess joined the set for a second.
Princess Lonnie trying to join the set,
You know.
But the Heat, they're the only team that beat the Bucks twice in the regular season. So
I mean, to be honest though, they always say, I mean, if you could beat a team 4 times, but you know what? It's a funny story about that. It was a team who swept a team in the regular season and then literally got swept in the playoffs.
I honestly believe
it was that happened like a couple years ago. You know that fact? That little fun fact. That happened a while back. A team literally swept somebody in the regular season, and then playoff basketball is a different set of basketball. So you can't compare a regular season team to a playoff version of that team.
See, and the reason why is because in the playoffs, you have forever to just prep for one team.
Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, during the regular season, if, say, me and you play for the Lakers, and we're going to play for the Clippers, we can game plan for the Clippers because it's that game.
Yeah.
But we still got to worry about playing Sacramento the next
night. We
still got to worry about taking our East Coast trip within that next 2 weeks.
Prep to travel. Yeah.
In the playoffs, it's different.
Hardball. I'm studying.
It's literally just studying that.
It's almost like football. Only. That's almost a football study hall at that point in time. And then you're still making adjustments upon what they do. So even a team that beat you, still making adjustments. Even if you just lost, they still making adjustments on.
Exactly, and that's the thing, because you always want to be innovative with your approach. You never want to say, all right, this is our game plan. We're going to stick to it that way. And if whatever happens, happens. after one game, you're going to switch it up a little bit to keep the other team thrown off.
Yeah, you see Jimmy Butler put up 40, and then the very next night, Jimmy Butler wasn't even the focal point. He got 13 points.
Exactly.
They got beat across the head by Tyler Hero and everybody else. So now they come to what? They gonna go to the game plan. They gonna go to the drawing board. Like, what we do? Like, what's next? What do we really do now? We shut down Jimmy. We got shut down Tyler. We shut down Tyler. We got shut down Bam. So makes it difficult. Makes it real difficult. Who you think coming out the East?
I'm just gonna say with my honest
unknown caller.
And I really want to.
Somebody on the phone?
Hello, we got a caller?
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
What's up? Who this is, man? Check in. Tell the people who we calling in.
It's your boy Mike Thomas, man. Checking in from Broward County, trying to check things out, man.
What's going
I'm loving
on,
the
Mike?
show.
What's up,
Appreciate you
Mike?
having us, man. How you doing?
Man, one thing I want to discuss with you guys is what's going on with the actual Clippers and Nuggets series. What do you guys think about that? And do you guys think the Nuggets have a chance versus the Clippers?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. And
They definitely have a chance without a reasonable doubt. I honestly expect for the Clippers to get exposed sooner or later. I truly believe they're gonna get exposed sooner or later. Like the Bucks getting exposed, I believe they will get exposed sooner or later. I think that if a team can come to them and get them a nice run for their money defensively, Kawhi Leonard's the biggest issue for that team. But if they can come to them defensively, it's a different story. And honestly, Clippers in 6, but yeah, they stand a chance. I give them a chance. Jamal Murray did his thing. He proved he a bona fide superstar.
Yeah, and I'm just looking on my live feed. The game is actually tied right now. So,
oh man,
yeah.
I would just like to say, like, Denver has a very, very good team.
Very good team.
A lot of people underestimate how deep their team really is.
The depth of their team, yeah.
Like, they have people who aren't playing in games who I feel like could have went to another team and made a significant contribution. It was a blessing in disguise with their team that Gary Harris and Will Barton got hurt because it allowed Michael Porter Jr. to really blossom. And
yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is a stud. He's kid,
definitely a stud.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But to be honest, man, the Clippers just got dogs to me. Like it's hard. It's hard to compete with a team that got Kawhi Leonard and Lou Will and Paul George. You got Harold. Montrez, and you got Morris. You know, just provide that gangster element of the team. Like it's
like Morris literally just taking out your best superstar. Like he literally just sitting games, just literally just wailing on people. He worse than me at the Cape Canaveral League. He literally knocking people out. He literally like he knew if he hit on Luka. You know, he knew dang well if he came down on that hard foul with Luka Doncic, Luka was going.
Of course he did.
He knew that. So coming up this next series, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Gary Harris. Hey,
my thing is, do they have a question for Jokic though? You know, Jokic, he just went against a series battling Gobert. You know what I'm saying? The former defensive player of the year. He battle tested. You know, he gonna come through this series and he gonna make some noise. I really think Jokic's gonna have a really, really good series. I think it's gonna be his come out party in the playoffs. I really do.
You know, that's a very interesting perspective.
No bigs for the Clippers.
Yeah, and to be honest, Zubac is pretty good, but you know,
Zoo's pretty good.
Going against a star like Jokic,
but it's not even just Jokic that you got to really deal with. You got to deal with Jokic. You got to also deal with Paul Millsap.
You do got to deal with Paul Millsap.
People forget Paul Millsap is on the Denver Nuggets. Like he's a stud. He was a stud in his prime. So they really still got guys. They got a versatile set of guys whose skill set match up very well with the Clippers. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and also Mason Plumlee has been playing great basketball.
Changed the whole perspective of that game.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Mason Plumlee brought a Draymond Green element to that squad the other night.
Bring a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, he definitely does. And they still have
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant.
Oh yeah, Jeremy
very
Grant
solid.
playing great basketball.
Very solid.
He's definitely been able to stretch the floor since he's got to
Oh,
Denver, and that's been a huge help.
Very solid.
And especially being that Jokic, he can stretch the floor as well. It allows the people who are on their team that's good drivers to actually get into the paint and not worry about the paint being clogged up, because you have those bigs who can stretch the floor.
Yeah, because Jokic can certainly stretch the floor.
Makes a lot of sense.
But still, with that being said, they don't have an answer for Kawhi Leonard. And Paul George they can deal with, but Kawhi Leonard's probably going to average 38 against this squad.
Yeah, it's the second quarter right now. And they actually, the Clippers, they just took a 9-point lead. That was pretty fast. And Kawhi Leonard already has 13 points. So
yeah, 13 points. First half, he'll probably finish the game with no less than 30. So, I mean,
we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, man, but we definitely do appreciate you, Mike. We do have one last question for you. I know you've been watching this Miami and Bucks series. Who do you have?
Me personally, I have Miami because Jimmy Butler is a dog, man.
So one second, Mike. Why does nobody pick the MVP Giannis? Like, he's our MVP. Why don't we just go with Giannis for every series? He's the MVP. He's gonna win every game. It's Giannis, right? Giannis for life, right? MVP. You don't think so?
Man, I honestly, something in the back of my mind really think that the Bucks is gonna win this series. They're gonna come back and win this series. But in all reality, the way the Heat playing right now, man, and the way, like I was just talking about Jimmy Butler, he is a dog, man. He is really carrying the team on the offense and defensive end, man. He's making some great plays. And I really love Miami shooters as well. I really don't know the answer for the Bucks. I really don't know, man. I really thought they were going to come out in game 2 and play a better game. Which they did to a certain extent. But,
what it is,
I don't know.
it's a very unique circumstance with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat usually have 5 guys on the court who can actually create their own shot. Almost outside of Duncan Robinson, who is literally a dribble away from shooting 52%. So you put your hand up and he does a step back, he's still liable to hit 50% of the time. So they have legitimately, they're just hard to deal with. Like, you have great defense, but they have better offense because they're just great shooters. Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, Bam.
Bro, Dragic has been in his bag.
Dragic has been.
I wanted to talk about him as well.
I used to play with Dragic on 2K before they got Jimmy Butler in Miami. Goran Dragic is legit. Always has been.
1,000%.
Solid. He's like those Kirk Heinrich, Kyle Korvers, but definitely more with a more agile skill set, of course.
Yeah, because he's very agile.
He came up under Steve Nash.
Yeah. Steve Nash is his OG. People forgot he played for Phoenix for a minute under Steve Nash. To think I don't know about Derrick Rose, but.
To think I don't know about Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose definitely put Dragic on the lifetime poster.
Yeah, and to be honest with you too, a huge factor that people asleep on is that Andre Iguodala is on this Miami Heat team. Andre Iguodala is guarding
a lot of leadership.
It's even just the premise of him. He guarded LeBron. So if LeBron and Giannis have a similar skill set, well, basically imagine guarding LeBron without the shooting style, without him being able to shoot and facilitate just as well. So I mean, honestly, like, would you rather guard LeBron James or Giannis? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, you probably get dunked on about 4 or 5 times, but with LeBron, you still got to worry about this 3 from the logo. You got to worry about him one hand passing it behind his back, between your legs, between his legs, You got to worry about him throwing alley-oops. You got to worry about him communicating to his teammates. You got to worry about him setting screens for AD. You got to worry about everything. You got to worry about everything with somebody like LeBron. And that's the thing. Like,
somebody sound like they have a little LeBron bias.
Listen, all I'm saying is the league MVP is getting guarded by Andre Iguodala, who wants, apparently, locked up LeBron. Apparently.
And Jay Crowder.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying is if he can do it on LeBron, he can certainly.
They're playing great team D.
They play.
Well.
They switching. They're honestly switching everything.
It's not just a single man's job.
No, it's not. But it's very pivotal when Andre Iguodala is in ISO with that guy. He stops his flow.
And the thing about Miami is that they're literally just throwing bodies at Giannis. Like, hey, Jay Crowder, you go guard him. Bam, you go guard him.
Fresh legs.
Iguodala, you go guard him. Jimmy, you go guard him. It doesn't matter. They're throwing everybody at him. Everybody is taking those charges, and he's getting in that early foul trouble, and he can't really find a rhythm like that in the game. And once he does get back in the game, he's so cautious about driving because after you've gotten 2 charges and it's only the second quarter, now you like, damn, if I drive again, who's to say I won't get another charge called on me?
But honestly, Milwaukee, when they play tomorrow night, they gonna get tomorrow night. There's no way they're gonna lose 3 games in a row. It should be no way that the league MVP, that the league's best player, the best player and the most valuable player in the NBA is going to get swept. There's no way. It would never happen to LeBron.
If the Bucks,
I don't know, man.
If the Bucks lose tomorrow, they might as well check out of the bubble early.
Yeah, if they lose tomorrow, I'm actually gonna apply for my roster spot. I'm actually gonna go online to the Milwaukee Bucks and I'm gonna go apply for a roster spot because they need some help. It's literally that bad. If they lose 3-0 to the Miami Heat, I'm sorry to tell you, you have the league's MVP. No, I'm sorry. Something's going on.
That's gonna make. I'm telling you. I told you this earlier in the show. Giannis is going to leave Milwaukee if they lose this series. There is no way he stays.
I don't believe that.
There's no way he stays. They won't be able to attract any free agent.
It ain't no way that man gonna leave. Where could he go? Mike, where could he go? Where could he go, Mike? Give us some options right now, Coach Zay. And let's see what Mike can. You said Mavericks?
My top 2 teams that I feel like he'll fit like a glove is Miami and Dallas.
So he gonna lose to Miami and go to Miami.
KD did it.
What you saying, Mike?
KD did it.
I think he's gonna take an L.
See?
I think he's gonna take an L.
If he does take the L in this series, do you think his first hint of free agency he's out of there, or do you think he's that loyal to where he'll stay?
At this point, you never really know with Giannis because, all the rumors. But at this point, I just think Giannis has it in his heart to stay. I think he's one of those guys that stays with the same organization and plays with the same team. And some Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba, really just doing what he's supposed to do and keeping it old school.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's what the person is. I think he's old school.
See, now...
We'll see, but my opinion, I think he's old school.
This is my message to all the players. Do what's best for you. Don't try to say, "Oh, I'm loyal to the organization."
For real.
Listen to me. DeMar DeRozan had a conversation with the president of his team. Literally asked the man, "Are y'all gonna trade me?" And the man said, "No."
No, DeMar. No, DeMar. Of course, you're our guy.
Where did he end up? 24 hours later, on a flight to San Antonio because he got traded.
Man.
Playing with a broken heart. Expecting him to go out there and do his job.
So these players got to do what's best for them. Like, even though we do joke around about KD being a snake, he honestly did what
he should have did. Like, if I'm playing pickup and I see them boys out there drop, you think I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I'm gonna be real with y'all boys. You see them shooters? I'm finna get on their team real quick.
You guys are doing this right now.
This is just real. Like, it's just real business. Like, it's just a business move. It's a business, and that's what we fail to realize. We want to see good basketball. We just want to see good ball. But that's a business. It's
a business.
If KD would have stayed right now and been at OKC, and then they would have won a championship, then what would have been saying?
KD sorry.
KD sorry, and he would have been another Melo. That's it.
My thing is, This team literally punched you in the mouth the year before, and then you joined them. That is literally insane. That's one thing I just won't.
We can't never get past it. But one thing that we will always say about Kevin Durant's legacy is that he is a two-time NBA champion, and that's the worst.
MVP.
And Finals MVP, and that's the only thing. When it comes down to it, that literally has people debating: is he better than LeBron?
Yeah, and he has an asterisk by his name, and it's just you can't give him that, man. He will never be in that top 5.
So if KD right now, KD win a championship in Brooklyn to win 2 championships in Brooklyn. Same thing applies.
Now that's a different story. Now that's a different story. If he wins over there in Brooklyn, I feel like he has a good chance.
Mind you, people felt that same way about LeBron when he went to Miami. He was a snake.
Those two can't be compared to each other at this point.
Yeah, those two moves can't be compared.
It can't be compared to each other based off how it is, but it was still the decision. People was like Chris Bosh and LeBron and D Wade. They thought it was overpowered. They thought it was over with. You heard LeBron? Yeah. Not 1, not 2, not 3. You heard LeBron? LeBron going crazy.
Yeah. He was on some fucking shit when he said.
LeBron didn't even say that on 4 years. LeBron didn't go for.
My thing is, do you realize that the team that KD joined?
Yeah, it was 7.
Literally won more games
than the Bulls
than Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, what happened? That team won the championship, didn't they?
No.
What happened?
They lost to LeBron that year.
They lost to who?
LeBron.
Dang. Yeah, that's crazy, right? A 73-9 team lost to LeBron James. Like, isn't that insane to you? You know what's crazy? They were down 3-1 or something like that. Like, I'm not really too sure, but they was like down 3-1 and came back. It was the first time it was ever done in finals history or something like that. So I mean, I don't know. It's just pretty crazy. Like, I don't know. When it come down to it, man, it's like, yeah, they needed help. They had to go get the second best player in the world to add to the best team on the planet to ever play the game of basketball to beat one man in LeBron James. But it's okay. When it comes down to it, you know, it's all right. KD had to do what he had to do because, to be honest with you, they honestly had to go get Captain America or somebody because they wasn't gonna beat LeBron again. LeBron figured it out and they knew it. They said, you know what, we got to go figure it out. We got to go get his kryptonite. That's what they did for a second. Because them shooters plus KD is pure kryptonite. It's pure kryptonite. It's one thing to have KD, but KD plus shooters, 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. No, probably the best shooters of all, 2 of the best shooters of all time for sure. Steph being the best.
Steph being
the best. Clay, and then Clay debatably
top 3.
Clay debatably anyway from top 3 to top 5.
I say top 5.
You can put him anywhere anywhere from 2 to 5. You can put him in any of those categories that ain't given there. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, bogus. KD bogus at the end of the day, but you know, business is business. Go where you go.
That's what I'm saying, man. These teams will up and they'll trade you without you knowing. You'll find out while you watching TV that you traded. They want
you find like everybody else. Literally find like everybody else.
Literally find out like everybody else.
Literally. Never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, man. That's all my advice to the players. Do whatever that makes you happy. Make your own business move because at the end of the day, once these teams think that you're washed up or anything, they're going to ship you out the door.
They done with you.
So you might as well leave on your own terms and go where you want to go.
That's it. That's definitely it. Just that simple. So, Mike, we appreciate you calling in, man. We ain't going to hold you on your line too long. We've been out here. We join us next week when we come back in, man. We need you to call in. Have your buddies call us in too, man.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir, for sure, without a doubt, man.
For sure, man.
I appreciate you guys as well, man. Thanks for your time, man. Thanks for giving me so much airspace, man. I needed that. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, Mike. Stay safe.
All right, dog.
All right.
So, look, now that we got Mike off the phone real quick, I do want to ask you one thing. The prediction on the Houston Rockets game. We just talked about James Harden being a stud.
Hey man, what's that? what's that meme that got LeBron with a cigarette? And
No, hold it now, hold it. This Rockets team blew this Lakers team out in the regular season, like 139. I'm talking about put up like 130 something odd points against this Lakers team. Now, this small ball can cause the Lakers some problems.
They did that when? When did you say?
In the regular season.
You know how many times Portland beat the Lakers in the regular season? 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I think Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5?
Harden, Smartin, Darden, it don't matter.
In 5? In 5, you got Russell Westbrook and James Harden. You saying they gonna win a 5 game?
See, the thing is with Russell Westbrook, he takes himself out of the game.
Russ really did take himself out of the game.
So we don't really
Russ literally doesn't understand speed limit. Like Russell Westbrook, like I think if I can literally imagine Russell Westbrook in a Lambo or a Porsche in LA driving at a constant 85 miles an hour. Like there's no
Street, right?
40 miles. No matter the street, no matter if there's kids around, no matter what's going on, he driving 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, of course. And the crazy thing is he would be so talented. Well, he is talented already, but he would affect the game so much more if he understood the change of pace. Like you can go hard.
And you know the thing is, he understood that more in OKC. But I feel like since more is required of him, he's kind of ramped it back to his old habits. It's not the fact that more is required of him to do more. More is required of him as far as expectations. Yeah. And OKC, was he expecting to win a championship? Let's be real. No.
Especially not when
not by yourself. No. But he's with an MVP, and he's an MVP. There's 2 MVPs on one team. So I'm just saying, 2 MVPs. Can he give me 2 games? Can he give me 6? Lakers in 6?
Listen, if AD and JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard don't at least have 8 rebounds apiece, something's wrong. So they should be able to out-rebound that team and win that game.
But if they shooting hitting threes, it ain't no rebounds. They can put them threes up and it's over with.
Yeah, that is true.
They putting them threes up is a whole different ball game. And that's really my thing is, if they hit, they haven't really been having great offensive nights. But you know what? It's been so much ball. Like threes depend on you being able to have them legs. They might not be able to pull it out. You might not be able to live and die by that sort, especially in this bubble.
True.
Especially in this bubble.
All right, so we just got word that will definitely be a wrap for this session. We do appreciate everybody.
All the big time tune-ins, man. Hey.
Shout out to Mike Thomas for the call, and we definitely appreciate that, brother.
Shouts out to you, brother. Big time stuff here. We definitely want everybody to tune in next week. A Revolutionary Broadcasting Group will definitely get you right. We here. We want you guys to go ahead and give us a shout out whenever you get a chance to, for No Debate. And get them boys a shout out anytime you want to come through to this studio to get your own recording session going on. And then we also want y'all to go ahead and call in and get yourselves ready to get on our show as we look for callers.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, Facebook group, No Debate. Go ahead and look us up. Add the group. Please make sure you add the group. We'll be having posts on there. We're trying to have a daily post on there that just try to get some feedback from our friends and fans on there. And you have anything else to add right now?
Hoop Nation, join in, get live.
Hoop Nation, shout out to Hoop Nation, man.
Shout out to Hoop Nation, and also just so we know, I'm going to say this for the record: we have talked to Jolie Smith. We will get a league started soon. The files will be documented. So will the points. My stats will be checked. Letting you guys know that right now.
All right, guys. It's been a blessing, man. We do appreciate y'all so much. But I think we out, you did?
Yeah, we out, man. Shouts out to the iPads, man. Again, man. Hey, man. Shouts out to Apple and the boys, man. Hey, Come to the set, you get the big click, the big blick, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do this thing, man. We out. Yeah, you feel me? The music on the outfit on it. You know what I'm saying? Something fire at the back end. Yeah, that's lit though.